Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Concept Roxanne. This episode I talk about back in the second year promotion again. And what I realized was when doing this experience was one of the things that has recent has so far given me the most issue has always been the toilet. It took me so long, but as I said, that has been one of the issues that has been giving me the most issue in this sector from my year of home ownership. And that's one of those things where I realized that that's one of the things where I understand is that we can't I always mention you can't judge another person chapters 20 by your chapter 2 or chapter 3 in a sense that you you're when you just start owning a home or you just start doing certain things, the experience, that's the thing where I understand the value of experience. No, you know, these are things, but yeah, and these are things that you may not realize. Are they not only that, by me realizing this now, um, or what I've actually done, being a wise, being wiser is that I've actually experienced a lot of these things. But no, what I'm doing is be more aware of those issues so that when it occurs, I ac- is l- I actually try to resolve the issue so that it's less likely to happen in the future. That's how I basically approach things, approach things. So that I know I can actually move into the future and progress. So when you actually learn something, you learn it well, so that you can apply it to its full effect. And what I've realized so far in the second year of home ownership is that one of the things that's always giving me the most issue is the toilet. I don't know if it's because and and I don't know if due to the brand or such, because it is a new brand. It's a more standard version of a toilet, but it's just that what happens is that your basic things that I do not know understand because I'm not a plumber or stuff like that. It's just minor things that were just giving some issues that caused me to leave. That has been fixed due to a professional coming and actually looking at it and actually dealing with it now. So it's actually fixed. But recognizing that, okay, way back when in the first year, I always mentioned that certain time you're basically reacting to the issue. So I was just reacting to the fact that, okay, this toilet was not working well. And then what happened is that I usually just find a way to work around it. I would not actually, because I'm not in a position to fix the issue or fix it well, and the various attempts were failing. So I basically found a way to just work around it. Basically due to the fact that it was leaking, and basically just use it sparingly and then turn off the pipe or stuff like that. But now it's fixed. Fixed better, better. And what happened is now is that because it's fixed well, the lessons I learned when it was not fixed would be valuable if for some reason it actually stopped working again. And then not only that, I still implemented some of the things that I use when it's not. use when it's not actually. So all certain things I usually do when it was not fixed, when it was not working well, I still do now to actually conserve water and stuff like that. Because I always I mentioned in a previous episode, I guess in the time of abundance, a time of shortage, the lessons that you learn when you were poor is valuable when you're actually getting richer. And why those lessons are important is so that you can maintain the maintain the lifestyle that you have obtained. So one thing that I the issue that we have always had growing up was the the infrequency of water. That was always an issue growing up, and even with my grandmother. And one of the things was that what I always realized with my grandmother was that as she gets better in life, no matter how further or richer or better in life position, she always gets her issue was always that there is not enough water, not enough water. Because what happened was that what I realized was that what I would have understand now is that during a poorer time coming up, that was always an issue. So no matter how much you may receive, there's always that mind to be like, oh my God, this was always an issue and it can come again. So, when in her basically finished product of her home, there was this basically this foolproof design that basically just ensure that she just always have water and least likely to run out of water. That was one of the things that basically implemented in her design of her home. A good amount of tanks, very large tanks to store water and stuff like that. So as I said, the times when you are poor, you have to learn about the different aspects of things that when they were keeping you poor. So that when you're in a richer state, one of the things that you're getting richer for is to solve that issue that you had when you were poor. One of the things when my poorest from grandmother's poorest it was lack of water. She fixed that. She actually fixed that. And you know, me now on my own journey now, what I'm not at that stage. So what I'm saying, I can't compare my grandmother's chapter how much to my small chapter because it's a lot of years. But learning, growing up in that experience and understanding that this experience a lot of lack of water, now make me say, okay, I'm not out here saying, okay, I'm just gonna be flaunting because that situation can reach me as well. So I'm basically making smart decision with the resources that I have so that I am less likely to be in the situation that previous generations our family had to work themselves out of. And that's how you basically do that. That's a lot of things people didn't do. One of the reason why you say why you wonder why there's a lot of generational curses or stuff. And he always talking about here about people coming to try to break generational curses was because what happens that each generation usually has a common problem, and none of them usually are maybe the one maybe figure out how to actually solve the problem, and they just use it against everybody. They just use it against everybody and stuff. But the thing about it is that I recognize the issue. I'm in a position now, and it's not the sense that I solve the problem. It's just what I have. The advantage that I have now is the fact that I've actually experienced the problem, so I'm aware of it, and that's one aspect of solving a problem. The fact that you're aware that it's an issue when it arises, you're not surprised. You're not surprised, you know, to actually solve it. just like a pandemic or stuff like that. If you you know that okay, you know how to when the rules come for you to follow, you say okay, that's the best rules to follow based on a very credible source. You look at the source to see if it's credible, and then you actually just say okay, doing this was the best option now, and you that actually saves you a lot of issue. Prevention is better than cure. That's a great saying of our proverb. Prevent an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So if you prevent the problem from happening in initially, that's gonna save you a lot of money. So you know, this episode just one way to highlight that that's one of the main issues that you actually deal with in this in this field. The bathroom toilet. And yeah, so it does. Yeah, I'm glad I'm going through that phase now. It's moving forward now, and as I said, this second year of the home ownership is has gone by pretty well, and it's all thanks to the fact that I got employed, and that if I'm able to actually get out and get employed again in a better position now, I can make a lot more improvements again because I'm more knowledgeable of this phase. I'm more knowledgeable of what this phase entails now. So that like I said, a lot. Really, 2023 had a lot of downs, but I learned a lot this year. Learned a lot this year. That's basically gonna progress. I have to just take the W's and the L's. So that's basically it for this episode. Thank you for listening. I look forward for our next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.